Hi, food fans. Happy Thanksgiving. I stand outside an iconic national landmark, a location dedicated today to making this holiday week a stress-free experience for you. This fantastically charming structure is, of course, the Chelsea Market in New York City, home to the world-famous Food Network. And today, this site is Thanksgiving Central. That's right, we've got the 411 on every aspect of Turkey Day. Don't believe me? Come on. We just need a journey through the market to the heart of the Food Network itself, Food Network Kitchen, where we're prepared to address every conceivable question and concern you might have about the upcoming holiday. We are here for you, and I will tell you how to contact us after I get up to the kitchen itself. All right, if you've got questions about turkey, you got a stuffing question, a basting question, an oven temperature question, you got questions about essential cooking tools, pie crusts, wine, whatever, get ready to ask us, because the knowledge you seek is on the other side of this door. That's right, the greatest Thanksgiving experts in the history of mankind are assembled here just for you. Welcome, one and all, to Thanksgiving Live. This is the legendary Food Network kitchen, and as you can see, it is jam-packed with an all-star lineup of Food Network talent. Today, you are going to get a little bit of everything from stuffing to sides, the perfect bird, and of course the best way to prepare it. We're going to talk about desserts, Thanksgiving cocktails, and appetizers, of course. We're even going to have a few viewer polls where you will dictate what they cook. Plus, we're going to have a countdown of Food Network viewers' most frequently asked Thanksgiving questions. Now, as you can see, Bobby Flay, Giada De Laurentiis, Rachel Ray already have a variety of birds in the works. There's a lot going on. The show is live, happening now, and there are myriad ways that you can contact us, as you can see on the screen. There is Twitter, there is Facebook, there is email, and this crazy thing called a telephone, hello, which you can use. Now, we've already got quite a few Skype calls, so I think we're good there. But look, we need to hear from you. Any Thanksgiving question you may have, send it our way. It can't be too wacko. And just so you can prepare your questions, we'll give you a hint of what's coming up using this funky little graphic doodaddy thing on the screen, so you'll have plenty of time to get your questions ready as we move through the kitchen. Now, as you begin to reach out and make contact with us with your questions, all of that data is going to converge in our Thanksgiving Live digital hub. We'll be visiting that digital brain later on in the program when Ree Drummond talks to some of her Facebook friends. But right now, if you look around down there, I know that the Food Network people are going to be following us. I know that Jeff Morrow is down there someplace. And Jeff, there he is right there.
Hey, Elton, how you doing?
How are you?
Oh, great. I am in that digital hub. It is so powerful and energetic down here right now.
It's very, very hub-like. And
like
by the way, what's on your pants, man?
Oh, these are actually turkeys right there, as you can see. They are embroidered by me, taking several weeks, but they're also scratch and sniff too, so you're gonna have to get a hit of that later, buddy.
So, obviously, Jeff has more downtime than the rest of us do and has been able to work up scratch and sniff patches. That's fantastic. He's going to be working his way through the digital hub during the show, and they're going to be keeping up with us, I believe, on foodnetwork.com kind of throughout. So you just you keep an eye on that, and that's going to be a good thing. Now, a reminder, all of the recipes for the food prepared in here today will be available at foodnetwork.com/Thanksgiving. You got that? All right. Let's get the festivities underway. Sonny Anderson.
Hey, hey.
True or false? Every successful party has got to have a first opening act, a great opening act.
True.
True.
Sure.
Of course it's true. So
yes.
what have you got going here?
My opening act today are my pumpkin and chicken bites. They're really easy for something like Thanksgiving. We're getting pumpkin puree out of the can, rotisserie chicken, all the flavors from fall. Some chopped up cranberries, some toasted walnuts, scallions. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Put them in little empanada things, brush them with some egg wash, bake them off, and they're good to go.
Combination of pumpkin and chicken.
Chicken, yes. Sweet and savory with a nice balance. There's some sage in there to keep it earthy, some thyme, a little bit of garlic,
Well, keep making them.
scallions.
You got to feed us. And these are off the rack like wonton wrappers?
Yeah,
or,
these are just empanada wrappers. You can get them in the
Empanada
freezer
wrappers.
section, or you can use some pie crust or something
Pie crust.
like that.
You
Yeah,
can even use
keep
a
it
frozen
simple.
pie dough.
Yep,
Yeah.
totally.
So is this actually really something you would make for Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Okay,
And
just checking.
fried chicken wings, because the game is on.
Fried chicken wings. You and I have talked about fried chicken wings before, but it
Yes.
should be turkey wings now.
Yes, yes, of course.
Because, you know, it's Thanksgiving. It takes a lot of turkeys to make that kind of thing happen.
It does.
Chef Sanchez, Ron Sanchez, I see you have even got more mise en place working than Sonny does. I'm going to come back and talk to you about that in a second. But since you mentioned great openers,
Yes.
I want to get into an opener that I'm a very, very big fan of. And it's called a cocktail. And around my house, the problem with cocktails is that there are a lot of people that don't drink at all, namely children. And then there are people that drink a whole lot. So here's what I do, and it seems to satisfy everybody. I take a quart of grape juice. This is Concord grape juice. It's one of my favorite flavors of the season. Boil it down with an 8-inch piece of rosemary and a chunk of crystallized ginger until it's reduced by half. Then I add about a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar and then reduce it by half again. And then what I end up with is this syrup that I use as a base for a wide array of cocktails. So I'm going to make, you guys want all these to be like high test, right? Bobby?
Yes,
High
please.
test. Who wants
Yes,
virgin?
please.
You want, all right, Jada wants virgin because she doesn't hold her liquor terribly well. Jada tends to get a little bit too fun when she's been drinking. So, all right, so here's the thing. If I'm making this for kids, I just use club soda. If I'm making it for people that want to drink a few of them, I use champagne. And if I'm making them for people that are going to be not just drinking, grappa and then champagne. Grappa.
Right.
But here's kind of my secret. A couple of drops of orange bitters.
Nice.
Even the kids, of course, I don't tell them that I'm doing it because they don't like it. A little bit of bitters just brings out, I think, some of the herbal nature of that rosemary. All right, so one virgin for Jada because she wants to.
What's
I don't
that
know.
about?
I don't know what that's about. I thought you said you were going to be fun today, Jada. All right, here. Bobby,
I'm
you hand that
never
over to
fun,
her.
you kidding?
All right. I know that Rachel's going to drink one with champagne. Do you want the grappa
Please,
too,
thank
or just
you.
the champagne?
I'll take it high test. I'll go for the whole.
She's going
I'll
to go all
for
the
the
way.
whole.
All right. Grappas. Oh, I made a mess of that one. Here, I'll drink that one. I told them not to trust me with the
It
champagne.
looks good that way, though.
It does look good, but it,
It looks
doesn't taste
beautiful.
very
Looks
good.
very festive.
All right, Sonny and Ree and you guys, do you want high test or you just want the champagne?
Yes, please.
I want the Cadillac.
I tell you what I do there.
thing. She loves it.
Whatever Bobby's drinking.
All right, do me a favor, Bobby. Finish these up for you guys. I'm going to take these back over to
grappa
these
in
fun
here?
folks. You want to put some grappa in there? Go for it. I'm not going to do that because I got to actually keep my my wits about me. All right, Ree. Here's a little sum just to get you started.
What a treat.
We'll get more champagne for it if you want, madam.
Thank you.
Thank
There
you
you
all.
go. All right, Ron, take a swig and then start telling us about your dish because it looks pretty fabulous and complicated at the same time.
Well, you know, when it comes down to the holidays, I don't want people messing around with too many things. So a simple bite of a sope, which is a corn masa tart, a little bit of crema mexicana or sour cream, some wild mushrooms, and a little queso fresco. The great thing about this, people always complain about too much meat during the holidays. This is a wonderful vegetarian starter or a little appetizer, and I love it for that reason.
But the mushrooms give it some of that kind of umami thing, so you get some real satisfaction
Absolutely.
out of it. How far ahead can you make these, Chef?
Well, the whole ideal is you can make your mushroom mix the day of or the day before, keep it in, reheat it, and just
Okay.
make these little bad boys the day of. If you don't have these, sopes, make a tostada or a little crispy tortilla chip. It works just as good.
Excellent. All right,
Okay.
good. Okay. One of the things that we are going to do, of course, through this whole event is we're going to be taking a lot of calls and emails and things from you. And I believe that we are ready with our first most frequently asked question. And I believe that it's coming in via Skype right now from somebody right here in New York City, I think. Is Skype, are you there?
Yes, my name's Joanna. How are you?
Hi, Joanna. I can see you.
Oh,
Wow.
great. That's excellent.
I love technology.
I do too. I do too. Well,
So
my
what's your
question for you, I was wondering, I'm traveling for Thanksgiving this year, so I wondered if you had any tips for something to bring that could survive a long commute.
Okay, you don't want to have to do a lot of cooking on the other end, I take it. You just want something that you can bring and say, there it is.
Yeah,
Okay,
something that I can take through the
Bree,
subway.
Bree, what Bree doesn't know anything about a subway. You ever been on a subway? You live out in the middle of nowhere, right? She knows like about pickup
Once.
trucks and stuff. Have you ever even been on a subway?
That's a stereotype.
Have you been on a subway?
I have been on a subway.
She has. Well, all right. Something that can stand up to long distance travel.
Well, you know, a good thing to offer to bring if you're taking something is the cranberry sauce. And I like to make one with pomegranate juice and a bag of cranberries. Just boil it till it's real jelly-like. Sweet potatoes, another thing you can make. Just mash up sweet potatoes with brown sugar, egg, vanilla. Put it in a casserole and top it with a streusel topping. Bake
And that'll
it.
stay hot because they're dense.
Well, it'll stay hot, but you can serve it at room temperature. So I try to take things that I can serve at room temperature and have them still be yummy. So.
All right. Good advice. I would say there's nothing like lasagna, and lasagna stays hot for approximately 6 weeks. So you can always just make a lasagna and bring it. If anybody hassles you on the subway, you hit them with it. All right, you've got two of my favorite ingredients out here, cheese and bacon. What you making?
Yeah, I'm making this throwback appetizer that my mom always made. It starts with Country Club crackers, and I made some with Parmesan. I put about a spoonful of Parmesan, some with brown sugar, some with blue cheese, and then I cut a pack of thin bacon in half.
Thin bacon.
Thin bacon, and
Who the hell buys thin bacon? You buy thin
well,
bacon.
you can eat
All
more
right.
pieces if you buy thin
Okay.
bacon. So, and then you just wrap the bacon
No, it's
around the
yeah.
cracker with the topping on it. Do a whole bunch, stick them in a 250-degree oven. The bacon cooks really slowly. I don't want to think about what happens to the bacon grease. I think it winds up in the cracker. but
You
it
think
has,
it ends up in the cracker?
you
Yeah,
have
it ends up in the cracker.
You have
I'm
the
here to tell
tangy
you.
blue cheese flavor, the sweet brown sugar flavor, and the yummy parm flavor. So
All right, well,
really
hurry
good.
up because
Yeah,
we're gonna need some food. All right, we're gonna move on now to our poll. Our first poll. As I told you, we're gonna allow a lot of opportunities in this 2-hour period for you guys to actually decide a lot of things. Some of it's gonna be viewers' choice, some of it's just gonna be questions, but it's all about getting some input for you. So here we go. This is poll number 1. Okay, on Thanksgiving Day, are you writing this down? Get a pen, will you? Thanksgiving Day. What do you want your guests to bring? Flowers, wine, dessert, or nothing but a healthy appetite? What about you guys? You want people to bring? You want dessert? Bobby
Dessert
said-
and wine, but you have to make sure that you assign people, because otherwise you're going to have way too many desserts or not enough wine, or vice versa.
And that's
so just
ugly.
in my house, we assign dessert or wine. Absolutely.
Okay, dessert or wine.
Yeah.
You're very careful about it. All right. What do you want people
I
to bring?
assign the dishes, whatever they're comfortable doing. But I
So you have
agree
to
with
like give
Bobby.
them a recipe? Do you give them a copy of one of your cookbooks
If
and
they
say,
need one.
just
Oh
make
yeah,
it?
why? God, that's a brilliant idea.
Good idea. It's what I do.
Alton,
Yeah, I
always
know.
thinking.
Rachel, what do you have them bring?
Yeah, I think you have to assign. My sister's a great baker. She always brings dessert. But I think if you're going to someone's house and you haven't been assigned something, I think it's lovely to bring an herb wreath or an herb topiary or a good bottle of olive oil, something they don't have to put out that day and something that
Okay.
will last more than that day.
Yep.
All right, excellent. Well, hopefully, they're all the way down there. They're busy cooking. So hopefully you get kind of a feeling for how this is going to go. You've got to reach out to us through one of those technologies and get ready to have some fun. We're going to be here and we're going to eat and have a lot of fun. Food Network Thanksgiving Live. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone. We are sampling the appetizers here, and we've got the result of the first viewer poll. As you recall, I asked what you would like your guests to bring to your Thanksgiving gathering. Flowers, wine, dessert, or nothing but a healthy appetite. And overwhelmingly, you guys said dessert. Dessert wins our first poll of the day. But of course, you've got to be very careful, as Bobby said, as you know, kind of what you assign. So we have the appetizers here. Everybody's kind of digging in. Very, very nice. All right.
Yeah, hello.
Everybody, have some.
I got
I'm going to
your
deal
back,
with.
Bobby.
We've got a lot of
This is
questions
the
coming in already, and this is the frequently asked question number 2. This came in via email. Save something for me from somebody named Ann H. And I want to get into this because it's very, very timely. And Ann says, I see tom turkeys, I see hen turkeys, turkey breast, broad-breasted, with all the different terms and varieties. How do I know which one to buy and cook? This is probably, I mean, this is definitely one of the big questions, and luckily we've got real turkey experts here. Just kind of a quick rapid fire down this line of people that are making turkey, and I want to ask Jada, because she's got a mouthful of food. What, do you have a particular kind of turkey that you prefer to cook?
Any turkey works for me.
Any turkey's okay for you?
Thanks for the info.
Rachel?
I order fresh turkey, but in pieces, so that you can tailor how much white meat and dark meat that you need for your group.
Nice,
If you're buying it at the
nice.
grocery store, I think you should do 2 small birds instead of 1 large one. It's easier to handle, and you can sleep a little later.
Got it.
And I think never give away a free turkey. A lot of stores will offer incentives where you get a free frozen bird, that's great. Just keep it frozen and use it for another day. You know, you have to feed people all holiday season long.
And turkey's not just for the holidays.
Right, exactly. So go with the fresh for Thanksgiving and save the frozen for another day.
The word's organic, free range, keep it simple, keep it clean, and also a kosher bird is really nice as well, which is exactly what I'm cooking.
That's what you
today.
have here.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've obviously got some opinions here, but to tell you the truth, I'd actually like to hear from a poultry expert, and luckily we've got one standing by. We're going to go on our first remote to Alex Gornishelli, who is down in Chelsea Market at Dixon's Farm Stand, and she's going to be talking with, I believe, Jake Dixon, who knows a lot about turkeys. Hi, Alex.
Hi, we're down here together with my buddy Jacob, who I buy from all the time, actually. And we've got a large array of turkeys. First, our classic supermarket bird that we grew up staring at.
Yeah, this is the broad-breasted white. It's the most typical bird you find here in the U.S. Big breasts, smaller legs, really juicy.
And just American, a good old
Very
American
American.
turkey. And then next we have the organic bird.
Yeah, so same breed of bird, the broad-breasted white, but raised without hormones or antibiotics, a purely vegetarian diet. So a little bit more consciously raised, but same characteristics. So clean flavor, big breast, smaller legs.
So that's like the cousin that was raised right.
That's right.
Okay, and then next we have the kosher turkey, which Bobby was just talking about, and I think this is kind of cool because it's dipped in a salt solution as part of the spot treatment that makes a kosher bird, and that can really eliminate the brining process. You can still stuff it.
Yeah, it's almost like a pseudo brine. So it's been dipped in a salt solution, gives it a little bit of that salty flavor and maybe a little bit more juicy, some people think.
And then it just seems like we're getting leaner and leaner here. We go to the wild turkey.
Yeah, this is really the extreme end of the spectrum. So it's basically farm raised, but a wild variety like you see, all around upstate New York. And they're going to be really lean and very gamey. They're slow-growing animal.
So this is for the gamey, unusual Thanksgiving when you're tired of that beautiful broad-breasted American bird, if that ever happens.
Definitely unique and not for everybody.
Not for everybody. All right. So that other child that was maybe raised a little differently.
Yes.
And then we have, last but not least, a heritage turkey. This is a red bourbon from Pennsylvania. I love this idea that you would know your turkey, where it's from, maybe it has a name.
Yeah, the heritage birds are always small farm raised. It's an older style of bird, somewhere between the broad-breasted white and the wild turkey. So more dark meat, a little bit more gamey, but not nearly as much so as the wild turkey.
Yeah, I mean, amazing to look at this spectrum of choices that we have.
Hey, Alex.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to know, and I think most of us up here want to know, which one are you going to be cooking at home?
I knew you were going to put me on the spot.
I'm not putting you on the spot. We just want your opinion. What's it going to be? I would go for the funky, unusual bird because that's how my family is. But what about you?
No, exactly. I agree with you on that, Alton, but I have to say this year, I'm going back to my roots for the classic supermarket or the organic turkey. Nice and big and juicy. That's what I really want to look for when I pop a bird in the oven. But that's this year, Alton. I don't know about next year. It might be a whole different game. It's fun to have so many choices and make it different every year.
Well, thanks very much. And Jake, thanks for being an expert there with us in the Chelsea Market. Alex, I think you need to get back upstairs. You've got some serious cooking to do, and you don't even know about how rough it's going to be yet. So come back up. All right. We talked about the kind of turkey that you want. One of the big debates for everybody here that's doing turkey, and I'd love to hear from everybody about this, is do you brine, do you not brine, or do you dry cure, or do you buy, like they were saying, the kosher bird that's kind of sort of brined?
Well, it's sort of soaked in a little bit of water to get the blood out and then salted.
Right.
To do the same. But I'm not a brine fan. I think that, especially for people with smaller kitchens, it's hard to find containers to put in your refrigerator for a couple of days, whatever you know. I don't like the texture of brine birds as much as I just like taking the bird, seasoning it, opening the oven, and kicking it in, and that's it. And let it roast away. There you go, everybody.
How important is the kick?
It's important.
Jada,
well, the kick's important just because the whole point is don't really worry about it. Just season it well and let it roast away.
I'm a little more gentle. I just slide mine in.
You slide yours in? No, okay. Do you do any prep?
No.
Okay.
Usually citrus, actually very similar to what Bobby's doing, although I'm cutting mine up this year to make it a little easier.
Okay.
But yeah.
Rachel, I'm going to come check on you later, so just hold that thought. Bobby, go ahead and tell me, because I know you need to get your bird in the oven because you've got other duties. Tell me about what you're doing
Well, when I
this
stand
year.
next to Jada, I get very inspired for Italian ingredients, of course. So I've got this northern Italian thing happening here.
Okay.
Roasted lemons, roasted garlic, rosemary, and then the traditional vegetables for Thanksgiving. Celery, carrots, some shallots.
Absolutely.
Roast away, lots of chicken stock, and some butter.
What does the chicken stock really do?
Well, the chicken stock creates steam and actually will make the bird nice and moist. And then, of course, lots of butter on the outside as well, and we'll hold on to the salt and pepper that I really season with very liberally.
And I assume that liquid is going to become...
It's going to become gravy later.
on. Okay,
Exactly
so
right.
that's part of what it's
Cremini
about.
mushrooms will find its fate
Okay,
in our gravy later.
Right, excellent. Okay, Rachel?
Good cocktail, by the way.
You know what? I poured most of it on the counter, which is a bit of a problem. I just do sometimes the grape stuff with the grappa and call it a day.
It's delicious, by the way.
Thank you very much.
I'm really enjoying
I
it.
want to know about what you're doing with your turkey, which I don't see yet.
This year, I am brining it
Oh, you
in
are?
cider because my husband is using our smoker. He's obsessed with a smoker, and to Bobby's point, you can buy 2.5-gallon bags, and if you're cutting up a bird or doing smaller birds, they will fit in that. We don't normally brine our bird, but my husband's using the smoker this year, so I like the sweetness from the cider. It sits in cider for a day before.
Cider for a day. So you're still in prep phase.
I'm still in prep phase.
Jada, put that down. Tell me about your turkey. I was waiting for you to get your cocktail again.
What is up? Be nice to me.
I am
It's
being nice to you.
Thanksgiving. We're supposed to be thankful.
I will be in about
You're
an
thankful
hour
that I'm
and a
here.
half.
I know.
So you've gone with the component, the breaking it down.
Well, these two lovely people went with a whole turkey, so I thought I'd give it sort of a different spin. And sometimes I feel like this might be a better alternative for a lot of people who don't have a lot of room and don't have multiple ovens and maybe live in a New York apartment.
Got it.
So I break up you can get your butcher to cut up your turkey, and it goes in there a lot less time in the oven.
Got it.
And then I take a cranberry orange glaze, which I'm reducing now, and 20 minutes before it's over, I brush it.
And you're done.
I let it finish, and that's how I turn it into a gravy.
We have a phone call for you. Do you want to take a phone call?
Absolutely.
It's like our first one. I'm
how
so excited.
exciting.
All right, we got a phone call coming in on our toll-free number for Jada. There's some for you
What
too.
do you
and so-
know?
but this is the one for Jada, so we thought we'd go ahead and get it out of the way.
Somebody likes
All right, go ahead, phone call for Jada. We're listening.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. All I hear is hello.
Hello.
Tampa, Florida. Come on in, Stephanie.
Donna.
Hi,
It's
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Hi.
I'm calling because it's going to be my first year cooking my turkey, and I'm young. And so I want to put citrus and herbs, also like onions and shallots, in the cavity, and I wanted to see what you thought about that.
Well, I think that's probably the most traditional. In fact, Mr. Flay over here is doing exactly that. I do a turkey just like that. I think the more things you stick in that cavity, the more flavor your turkey's gonna have. Good luck.
Okay, but I don't have to worry about brining the turkey.
Forget the brining.
because I
This
see
is
that
your
you guys
first
been
year.
doing that lately.
Don't worry about it. Just take the turkey, stuff it. Garlic, rosemary, thyme, and citrus. Orange and lemon. Go ahead, and even shallots if you want. Put it in there. And as Bobby would say, kick it in the oven.
Buy one of Jada's cookbooks. I'm sure it's all
I love you
laid out.
guys. Thank you so much for doing this. This
I
is
have
awesome.
I have to get down
Bye,
here
Stephanie.
to Alex Guarnaschelli's station. Alex is going to be back soon, and she's hopefully, if she didn't get stuck in the cargo elevator, and she's going to have a bit of a job for her because this involves our second viewers poll, and it's a viewer's choice. This is one of those deals where you're actually going to pick what she's going to do, and I can only hope that you're going to pick the one that's harder. That's right. That's the correct answer. So this is going to be about stuffing. All right, Alex is going to make stuffing, and you've got to choose. Is she going to make basmati rice stuffing, which I'm sure is absolutely positively delicious, or is she going to make apple, turnip, and sage stuffing? All right, so what you need to do is you need to get in touch with us and let us know exactly, precisely which one you want her to make, because she is going to be back here very, very shortly. All right, so Rachel's turkey's going to be heading to the oven. We'll have the results of that poll. We got side dishes. Get your questions ready for those. And just a little bit of a reminder. This year, Thanksgiving comes in the aftermath of a pretty devastating storm here on the East Coast. So I want to take a moment and remind everyone of the effects of Hurricane Sandy. Still pretty rough stuff. And we're working with several area food banks in an effort to connect people in need with food during the holiday season. So find out how you can help. Call Food Bank for New York, City Harvest, or the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, all through foodnetwork.com/hungry. Do that. It's the right thing to do. Food Network Live, we'll be right back. Assembled a plethora of Hall of Fame cooks to guide you through the murky and sometimes dangerous waters of the Thanksgiving holiday. So we've got you got questions, we've got answers. Don't be shy. Give us a shout. Facebook, Twitter, a Skype, email, phone, you name it. Now I'm inside the Food Network kitchen, and there's a lot of turkeys in process here, and Alex is going to tackle some stuffing and some dressing, and all of you at home have a stake in what Alex is going to make. All right,
I
and
love
we're tabulating.
that they can vote on that.
That's
It's
pretty
so cool.
Yeah. So they're tabulating those now. Then we'll have side dishes and cranberries later on. Right now, though, Rachel has taken a slightly different approach.
A very
to
different
turkey.
approach for me,
Yeah,
actually.
so tell us what you're doing.
Well, you know, my husband John has become obsessed with our outdoor smoker.
Right,
He
obsessions.
loves, like most men, he loves to grill. So this year, we're going to be smoking our turkeys. I do believe a lot of what we've all been talking about. You don't have to make it complicated. Get a fresh bird or defrost or frozen. Lots of citrus, lots of root vegetable. I do buy organic when it's an important meal like this. And I always say 2 small turkeys. You can sleep later, throw them in the oven, and you're good to go. I do like a cider brine. This recipe's up online, and it's a cider-based brine. We're apple picking people. It's cider and brown sugar, and lots of shallot, lots of fresh herb, and sliced orange. You cool this to room temperature. I quick cool it, throw some ice in. Once it's nice and cold, you brine the turkey just a day or day and a half ahead, about 36 hours or so ahead. Okay. Take it out, pat it very dry, and I love the sweetness of it, especially
Pat it dry is important because you won't get nice skin if the skin's moist. You're in trouble.
And then, of course, you're not going to get a lot of drippings from this. So I buy turkey stock by the gallon.
The industrial size.
Yep, big old. Several boxes of the turkey stock. You can make a nice turkey base. What little drippings you can get from it if you're roasting it in the oven, you can add to it. You can make a delicious, flavorful gravy right on the stovetop. And the smoked turkey has a really great flavor.
I love it.
For the leftover hash.
Yes.
For leftover
Soup.
Tex-Mex soups.
Sandwiches.
It's really hearty. I love that flavor, and I love the balance of the sweet and the smoky for this. I make a glaze to put over it just the last half of the cooking time.
Okay, because otherwise it's not
a lot
really
of the
very
same
useful.
flavors, and it gives it that nice shellac look, that reddish brown, really
Shellac.
deep. You know, it's
That's
got
what we
that
want.
deep.
We do. We want
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
it
sure.
has almost a leathery look to it when it's done.
We have a
It's
tweet.
delicious.
We have a tweet coming in for you. We have a tweet. Do you want to take a tweet?
Sure.
It's that whole newfangled Twitter thing, under 140 characters. All right, let me get this Twitter up. Okay. All right. How do I get my bird brown if I'm brining it? Oh, wait.
I got you.
How do I get it brown without burning it is actually what it says.
You know what? 325, 15 minutes per pound is always your magic math for turkeys. 2 important things. You should always make sure your oven is burning at the true temp, right? Buy an oven thermometer and check it. And then if you really want a super crispy skin, don't you agree? Just the last minute, take the foil off. Whatever you're cooking, big or small turkey.
Start with dry skin, and you're going to have a better shot of having
exactly.
a
You
good
can bump
crispy.
up your temperature at the very end if you want super crisp.
All right, back to your bird. I'll meet you guys over here. I'm going to go talk to Alex Guarnaschelli. Alex is, where's Alex? Alex is back from the farm stand. Coming through. Chef's at work. That smells awesome. Okay, Alex, hey, welcome back. That was a nice job you did down there at the market. I was afraid that you were going to get stuck in the cargo elevator. All right, so you may remember that we were, last we were down in this position. It was about a poll, and the people at home were going to get to pick between 2 of your stuffing options. You know what the options are?
Yes.
One is?
One is the basmati rice stuffing.
One's the basmati rice stuffing. The other is the?
Apple sage turnip.
I want to know Bobby likes the apple sage. You're not voting. Are you voting, Bobby? Well, get out of here.
I don't want basmati rice in my stuffing. I'm sorry.
Here's what I want to
It
know.
has
Here's what I
some
want to know.
toasted almonds and stuff, golden raisins.
You're going to make it delicious. We know that, Alex. I'm sorry.
I want to know which one's your favorite.
You know what? I'm all about the root vegetables for Christmas. I'm all about the turnips and the apples. The acidity of that Granny Smith against that nice earthy turnip.
Well, I have news for you. America has spoken.
Uh-oh, rice.
And America wants apple turnip sage stuffing.
I love it.
I am personally surprised. I thought the word turnip, I thought the T word was going to send everybody running.
You know what?
But you've actually done it.
Root vegetables are the new gorgeous things for fall. I really believe that.
So tell us about this stuff.
All right, well, I felt like I was on a competition show out and waiting for my secret ingredient, I have to tell you. So I'm just building a base, which I think is important for any stuffing, of the onions and the sage, and just getting that on the stove. Take a little nose bath. Are you feeling that?
Take a nose bath?
You feeling that?
You almost hit me in the head. I like sage. I'm a big sage fan, so you have me at sage.
And then a little little bit, you know, some dried herbs, a little bit of dried thyme. Don't tell anybody. I feel like Thanksgiving has a little bit of that dryness to it too. Both the fresh.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of
well,
the
you get both sides of the herb that way.
yeah, and then the onions and the garlic, and just a little bit of Granny Smith apple that we're going to slice and
Tart
put
and tangy.
together. Tart and tangy with the nice earthy turnip. Cook
You
all
don't
that
peel the
together.
turnip?
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay,
I
I'm
do,
sorry. I saw
and
you take the ends
because
off.
you know root vegetables have several layers of
Yeah.
skin, so I like to really peel it down. Buy your turnips really big.
Okay,
and
what
cut 'em
happens
down.
after that?
And then we just cook all this together. A little bit of celery. I've got some toasted bread, and then of course a little sausage to just add a little
Can I
panache.
just-
And then it
I'll eat that
also has
later.
allspice, which I love with the little
Allspice.
hint of the apple and the turnip.
Well, and that also ties in with the thyme very, very nicely. All right, well, get on that because we're actually going to need it for the meal. All right, so here's the deal. Viewer's choice coming up. Oh, yeah, this is about you. This is about you. Don't seem to have anything to do.
I'm very
You don't have
busy
anything to do.
having your
Well,
cocktail and cleaning my green beans.
So, I think that you should be the victim of the next viewer's choice poll. All right. So here it is. America, you are going to get to decide what Giada De Laurentiis does with like the next half hour of her life. Will it be brush your hair? Oh, I'm sorry, that was a different poll. No, hold on. This is about a side dish.
Don't be jealous because you don't have any hair to brush, okay?
I'm going to keep this nice, and I'm going to keep it about Thanksgiving. Besides,
do tell. I'm listening.
I
We're all
know
ears.
weave work when I see it. All right, so side dishes. Side dishes. Do you want to see Giada De Laurentiis prepare her apparently famous mashed potatoes? Are they really that good? Your mashed potatoes?
They have mascarpone, they are.
Say it again. Say mascarpone again.
Mascarpone.
Oh, that just makes me crazy.
Bobby's just listening because he's got to have to say
Can
it
you
later.
even say it like that? I can't say
Mascarpone.
that. Mascarpone.
See?
Yeah, it sounds like a Ferrari. All right, so America, do you want her to make her mashed potatoes with, you know, cheese in it, or do you want her to make green beans with lemon, vinaigrette, and almonds? Yeah. Which also sounds pretty good.
Oh, thanks. I think so.
I said it sounded good. It sounds good. So anyway, we're going to allow you guys to vote on that, and then that will let Giada know what she has got to do. And Lord knows I need her put to work. So stick around because Food Network's Thanksgiving Live is going to be right back. Cool. Hi, we're back at Food Network Kitchens. This is Thanksgiving Live, and we've got something of kind of a stuffing throwdown or dressing throwdown here, cornbread based, between Aaron Sanchez and Henri Drummond. So we're going to see what is going into both of these. Aaron, tell me about your cornbread. We were talking about this amazing chorizo from your mom's recipe,
Yes,
right?
yeah. Well, first of all, did you ask Bobby for permission to use the word throwdown?
I'm sorry. Actually, that copyright is owned by Food Network, not by Bobby Flay. So
Alton, you just used it so easily, like you
I did.
invented the word.
And be careful, I'm going to throw out Bam and Yummo in a few minutes too. So tell us about this.
Exactly. Well, you know, one of the things that people complain a lot about turkey is the dryness factor. So I always like to introduce something that has a fair amount of fat and seasoning and flavor. And in this case, my mom's chorizo recipe, which is equal parts ground pork and beef, very heavily seasoned with red chili and Mexican cinnamon.
Mexican cinnamon.
And which is that secret ingredient, which is just that really floral and very vibrant
I can smell it.
Mexican cinnamon, which I love. So I've added a little bit of cornbread, and that's going to be sort of the thickener in the stuffing.
Okay, great. And so you really think that kind of the secret to this whole thing is to have enough fat to make sure that you keep that mouthfeel in the final dressing so that it won't be dry because it's got fat in it.
Absolutely.
Ree Drummond, you also have cornbread going here. So tell me about your stuffing.
This is actually my beloved mother-in-law's stuffing.
A beloved mother-in-law?
I love her.
A beloved mother-in-law? Wow. I've heard some stretches here at Food Network before, but that's right up there. All right, go ahead.
And I really mean it, actually.
She really means it.
So lots of cornbread. I like to cut it into really big chunks. My mom's cornbread was more of it was all one texture. Yeah, I like the big chunks, and I like it really moist, but I like a mix of moist and chunks. So I've got aromatics going. I'm getting ready to pour in the broth, and it's got yummy thyme, sage. I'm gonna put some parsley in there, and then basically it's just tossing the cubes of bread while
So it's
I
almost like a
ladle.
panzanella in a way. You just let
It
everything
really is.
naturally soak
Yep,
into the
and
bread.
you can customize it. My father-in-law is the only one who likes it in the bird, so I just put a little bit in the bird, and then the rest of it I bake it in a dish.
Have you ever
So
put it in the bird after the bird's cooked?
I put it in halfway, actually.
Halfway, so you
Yep.
don't have to worry about so much of the temperature issues.
He
because-
likes the mushy, juicy turkey flavor of the dressing, and the rest of us kind of like to pour gravy over it to control the moisture. But I want some of that chorizo.
Obviously, very, very different methods here because you don't have a lot of fat in yours, and Aaron's got a fair amount in his. Sonny, are you like working down there, or are you
I'm
just
hanging out
cutting
with the stuffing.
All right,
I'm
fine.
hanging out with the stuffing.
You
That's my
can do that.
motivation. I'm hanging
All
out
right.
with the stuffing.
All right, keep cooking. I'm going to take an email now. This is an email that came in from somebody named Lauren. And Lauren asked, what are the best kinds of seasonal, or what is the best kind of seasonal vegetable to serve this time of year that will taste great and be fresh? And I would ask you guys, I would ask you, Jada, you live in California where there are no seasons, so you don't know about seasonality. You're from New York, so you know about seasons,
You know,
Rachel.
whether you shop in a grocery store or you're lucky enough to go to a farm market, what you see is what you should be cooking. You know, what's in the abundance on the aisles
you
now.
see?
Squash.
Don't touch me.
Squash, root vegetables, they all look great, they taste great. All the things that your senses can tell you without asking anybody's opinion. When you go to the market,
Oh, you burned those. You burned those. You completely
Let
burned
your
those
eyes-
You're in
almonds.
my way when I'm supposed to be cooking.
Yeah, nuts burn very quick. Let this be a lesson to everyone at home. If Jada De Laurentiis can burn her almonds, you can't. All right, what's your favorite seasonal? They really do smell kind of burnt. What's your favorite seasonal vegetable?
You really want to know?
I do actually really want to know because you do have everything in California though. I mean, you
Butternut
got
squash
access.
and
butternut
Brussels
squash,
sprouts.
yes, most versatile.
Brussels sprouts. Oh my God.
Delicious.
Do you ever deep fry them? It's really good. All right. Oh, wait. Okay. We've got a result here for you about what
my
you're going to be
gosh.
doing.
What am I making?
what are you gonna
Well, I don't know. What did the burned almonds
Besides
supposed to go
burned
to?
almonds.
What are they supposed to go
Green
into?
beans. So let's hope it's not the green beans.
All right. Well, I'm just now getting the results from this. All right. The poll, remember, that we asked you guys to vote on was whether Jada De Laurentiis was going to make her world famous mashed potatoes with
Mascarpone.
cheese, or is she going to make her apparently equally delicious
burnt
green
almonds,
beans
yes.
with lemon vinaigrette and burnt
Burnt
almonds?
almonds.
And the answer, the poll result is
Mascarpone.
the mashed potatoes win. Yay! So I tell you what, I'll throw these away for you. All right, excellent. So go ahead and tell us about the dish, the mashed potatoes. Have you started them yet?
I peel my potatoes.
Well, those are green beans.
No, but my
Oh, here. She's right. They're potatoes.
honestly.
Okay, tell us how you do it.
I boil potatoes in butter, garlic, salt, and pepper. Okay, and then I mash them with mascarpone, Parmesan cheese. I take the garlic that I boiled them in and smash it up.
Okay.
A little bit of chicken broth.
Okay.
Salt and pepper.
That's it.
That'd be it, my dear.
But getting them right is all about. Getting them right is all about properly cooking the potatoes.
Correct. I boil them in cold water.
Okay, you start them cold.
Start them in cold water.
This is important.
Yeah, I
This is
know.
important.
And different people have different thoughts on it.
Yep.
I believe it's best to start them in cold water.
I concur. I am agreeing with Jada De Laurentiis
Thank
for the first
goodness
time.
he concurs.
Rachel, do you concur? Start the
I
potatoes
do.
cold water?
Cut them same shape
Bonnie
and size.
Flay.
Always start in cold water.
Start the potatoes in cold water for mashed
Cold water,
potatoes.
bring it to a simmer.
Yes.
Okay, so we're square on that.
Okay, good. Okay, goodbye.
And when does the mascarpone come in?
After they're
Don't tell me.
cooked.
I don't actually want to know. It's all right. So here's the deal. While Giada's getting her side dish working, I'm going to move on to another viewer's call. Let's see. We had a little bit of a stuffing throwdown. So whose cornbread stuffing would you rather serve in your Thanksgiving dinner? Would it be Ree's cornbread stuffing or Aaron's cornbread stuffing with the chorizo? Let us know what you think. And when we come back, we will take your questions about desserts, cranberries, wine, and then later, Ree's going down to the digital hub to take questions from her legions of Facebook fans. Thanksgiving Live, we'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching Food Network's Thanksgiving Live, and we're glad you're with us. Today's show is jam-packed with Thanksgiving info, and we would not do it without your participation. You've been sending us Thanksgiving-related questions by the score to our digital hub, and we want you to send them. So reach out, Twitter, phone, whatever you possibly can, or Facebook. Now, in the meantime, Rachel Ray is in a side dish state of mind. Keep working those potatoes, lady. What
Hi,
you
babe.
doing?
Well, this is a terrific vegetarian entree the rest of the year, but on Thanksgiving I cut them into 3 portions each. So out of just 2 butternut squash, you can get 12 portions. And it's a double stuffed squash like you would make a double stuffed potato.
Okay.
So you split the squash, scoop out the seed, roast it just 30 minutes until it's tender at 425. Let it cool to handle, scoop out most of the flesh, leave a little layer in there so that you can keep the skin intact.
Okay, so don't cook it to the point that the skin starts to tear away.
Exactly, exactly. So you want to pull it a little shy of that when it's just tender, so about 30 minutes or so. Then you're going to add in, for every 2 large squash, you're going to add in a little fresh ricotta cheese, about 1 cup.
Ricotta, say it.
Ricotta.
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 Ricotta. We
Cottage
say ricotta,
cheese.
my
Very
friend.
small cottage cheese.
So we're going to add a little bit of parm. Say mascarpone again, I love it.
Oh, don't.
Mascarpone.
Isn't that gorgeous? Couldn't you just watch
It
that?
sounds like something pony.
I know, but it's delicious to listen to her say that.
Something with a little pony in it.
A little bit of sharp cheddar, a little bit of Parmigiano, a little bit of fresh ricotta, a little bit of your nutmeg.
And don't use
And
the
if-
stuff from the tin. Get a
No,
nutmeg
they sell it
and
right in the
grate
regular grocery store.
I always have
Sometimes
it in
they
my
even
pocket.
come with a grater right in the jar. And then a little splash of chicken or vegetable stock, depending on whether or not you need to be
Which Bobby
vegetarian.
Flay says is the most important thing to have in the kitchen
It
during
absolutely is.
Thanksgiving.
If you,
Chicken
if
broth.
the,
Chicken stock.
exactly. If the turkey's dry, you make it a little warm bath of stock.
Everything.
You
I
make the
always
gravy
have it
base.
on my stove.
Yep.
Warm
and
chicken stock.
you just warm up the meat in that, and you never have dry turkey. So you mash this together. You throw it back in here. A little bit extra sprinkle of cheese on top. Whenever you're ready, you bake it 375 until it's done. The most important ingredient, though, the brown butter. And then you crumble the sage on it when you serve it at the table.
Now, you really let your brown butter get dark.
Well, I was watching you two.
Yeah. It's your fault.
But it's
Once
nutty,
again,
it's fragrant,
your
it's
fault.
delicious. And I love the flavor of the sage butter all through it. I, like you, am a huge fan of sage.
I like sage.
Huge.
I'm a big fan. Okay, hey, we've got a tweet coming in for you.
Sure.
Let me, hold on. Here it is. Dear Food Network, what is a great way to change up a green bean casserole while keeping that traditional yumminess? I guess that's why they wanted it for you, because it has like a yummy thing going on.
Yeah, I love green bean casserole. I made one for Kermit the Frog last year when the Muppet movie came out. It's called It's Not Easy Being Green Bean Casserole. And basically, I took a little bit of turkey stock and I made a little roux, and I made sauteed mushrooms, made a little roux, added the turkey stock, mixed the green beans around in it, and crispy shallots up on top, fried shallots up on top. And you bake it off in the oven.
All right, okay.
It's
now,
not easy being green.
It is not easy to be green, but it is easy to be green bean casserole. Okay, we've got to go now to our poll results. Remember, just a few, well, back in the last act, we're going to vote on whether you guys really preferred Ree's cornbread, if you would put that on the table, or if you think that maybe Aaron Sanchez's would be the one that goes on the table. And your results are just being tabulated now. And ooh, I may be the chorizo that sent it over, but America has voted for Aaron Sanchez's dressing.
Yes, Bobby. Believe the hype. It's happened.
And I think that it may have had something to do with all that fatty, lovely chorizo that was in there. By the way, all the recipes, every single recipe here today, you can get from foodnetwork.com/Thanksgiving. They're all there, so you don't have to try to write all this stuff down, especially that part about the burned almonds. We're going to leave that out. So we're going to go now. I'm sorry. So now we're going to go to a frequently asked question, and this one has come in about 700 times today so far, and it's coming in via Skype. This is coming in via Skype. Be quiet. This could be for everybody. There's going to be a test. All right. This is Holly, who I think is from Oakhurst. Holly, will you please come in from Skype? Come on in.
Hi, Alton. I was
Hi.
wondering. Hi. I do a huge Thanksgiving every year, and I like to change up my menu every time, but the one thing I have never changed is my cranberry sauce. I'm wondering if you have any suggestions for a new spin on cranberry sauce or a whole new condiment altogether to bring some variety to the table.
Well, you know, it's funny that you ask about cranberry sauce, because it just so happens that Mr. Bobby Flay here has got a big old bowl of cranberries, and I believe that his relish recipe, or one of his cranberry recipes, is in this month's Food Network magazine. The only thing wrong with this magazine, of course, is that I'm not anywhere on the cover of this magazine. That's the way it goes. But Bobby Flay's got some fine recipes here, and I cannot help but notice that you've got 3 of my favorite things out here. You've got cranberries, Campari, and grapefruits.
Grapefruits, exactly. We're doing sort of a Northern Italian spin on cranberry sauce. So, just a few ingredients, Alton. orange juice, fresh grapefruit juice, brown sugar, and then the fresh cranberries, about half of them. Okay. We're gonna let those cook, and it becomes sort of a syrup with all those sort of nice citrus flavors and the sugar as well. Then I add some fresh ginger as well. Okay. Very, very finely chopped.
That's like super mince.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna let that cook with those as well. And at the very end, I'm gonna add grapefruit segments, but you just want to actually fold it in so that it doesn't actually break up.
You've
too
been
much.
very careful to cut that as like Supremes. You've got none of the pith or any of this.
And then a little bit of Campari, which is sort of that bitter,
Is that just to
that
finish?
bitter liquor. Yeah, just a little bit at the end. And you know, when you go to Italy and you know, you have that sorbet where it's grapefruit and Campari. It's got some tartness. It's got sweetness. It's got a little bitterness. And then you have the you know, the sweetness from the brown sugar. And then the cranberries are a little tart. To me, that's a perfect foil for any turkey, any turkey at all. So it's all good.
And usually, I mean, the cranberry is a berry that we tend in America to just put a lot of sugar on.
Yeah, exactly. And there's
but
no
you've
really...
actually tempered that with actually more tartness, citrus, and more bitterness.
Exactly. Bitter, tart, sweet, a little bit of sour. All that really works very nicely.
I would like to mix that up in some mayonnaise and put it on my sandwich the next
Well,
day.
we're going to do that the next day, for
Okay,
sure.
that'll be Thanksgiving Day after live. I don't know if that's a live show. Anyway, all right. Thank you very much, Bobby Flay. Again, that recipe on foodnetwork.com. I want to ask, get into the wine question now, because we've got a lot of questions coming in about wine. It is something that scares the heck out of folks around Thanksgiving time, because it's typically a very, very hard thing to match, or people think it is. So just kind of quick, what wine with Thanksgiving? What do you like?
Red, white, and rosé.
Red, white, and rosé. Wine, ladies. Best wine for Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Your favorite? Pinot Grigio. Rachel?
My mother likes Pinot Grigio, and then we also get a couple of reds. A Côte d'Aron I like for the red.
Côte d'Aron. You like Côte d'Aron. Guys, wine, Thanksgiving.
Carmenere from Chile.
From Chile. Excellent. Reed.
Gabby, it's white. It's slightly fizzy.
Alex, wine.
Champagne or cheap beer?
Champagne
yes.
or cheap beer. My family can't tell the difference, so it works. What about you, Sonny?
I'm going to go with some cheap beer and Beaujolais and some red sparkling.
Okay, I like that. All right. No, Reed, get down to that digital hub thing.
yes,
You've got
I'm
all those
going.
Facebook people to
I
deal
just
with.
finished my
Go on,
dressing.
you can cook later. All right, I have to tell you that I think these polls are a lot of fun. They make me feel oddly powerful. So let's see how you guys feel about the Giada situation. We know that Giada's got her mashed potatoes, and we know that Rachel has her butternut squash. Which one would you rather put on your Thanksgiving table? You know how to get in touch with us by now, so reach out and tell us what your vote is. And guess what? Food Network's Thanksgiving Live. We'll be right back. Hi, America. We're live, as in this is happening right now in the Food Network kitchens in Chelsea Market, New York, New York. And Thanksgiving Live, what can I say? We are cooking. Right now, we're getting ready to set up this fabulous buffet. I want to jump in because we've got some results. You, of course, have been reaching out, as they say, to us with Twitter, Facebook, phones, emails, whatnot. And you have gotten us some great votes for the side dish, voting between the mashed potatoes and the butternut squash. Which would you rather see on your table? And it was kind of close. But believe it or not, the mascarpone wins, and mashed potatoes have won that particular poll. That is pretty gosh darn cool. I like mashed potatoes too. So now we're going to Ree Drummond, who is actually down in that digital hub I was telling you about, where all of this digital information is flowing. And she has gone down specifically to kind of like Vulcan mind meld with her Facebook pals. And I understand that you've got a lot of them, Ree. A lot of Facebook people there following you around?
Hi, Facebook friends. Yes,
Hey, yeah.
yes, they're my homies.
They're your homies. That's spectacular that you have homies. I personally have no homies, but you do. And what's the flow like? Are a lot of people trying to get hold of you there with questions?
Oh yeah, they're just kind of calling out support, asking me questions like, how do you get your kids to do the dishes after Thanksgiving?
You want to know how you get your kids to do the dishes after Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Do the dishes!
Well, I have
Something
a
like
plan
that.
B in case
Okay,
that
go ahead
doesn't
with plan
work.
B.
Sometimes I say, hey, let's do the dishes before we have dessert.
Oh, that's called blackmail. I like that too.
Yeah, it's a good parenting technique I like to employ.
What else you got going on for down there?
You know, one of the main questions I've been getting from my Facebook friends is, how do you make perfectly creamy mashed potatoes? Now, I cannot compete with Giada on the mascarpone angle. That's how I say it.
Mascarpone. You got to say pony. Yeah.
One tip I give with mashed potatoes to make sure they're lump-free is I actually drain them after they're cooked, put them back into the pan, and mash them over low heat for about 5-6 minutes and let a lot of the steam escape. And that makes sure they're really, really mashed and smooth before I add in the butter and the cream cheese and the heavy cream, but that's another story for another time. But that way I can make them ahead of time because they do have a lot of fat in them, and I spread them in a casserole dish, bake them the next day, and that sort of saves a lot of potato peeling time on Thanksgiving Day, which makes me happy.
Well, yeah, let's face it, peeling potatoes is really not fun any time of the year. But hey, you've got kids to do that too. Well, listen,
right.
Finish up with your people down there. We're going to get some more questions, and we'll probably check in with you later. And then eventually you got to get up here and do some cooking. Right now, I'm going to be going to our next remote. And this is dealing with that subject that I mentioned earlier that a lot of people are kind of spooked by, which is the idea of pairing wine with the Thanksgiving meal. It is a kind of complex issue. Everybody here has an opinion, so do I, but we're going to go to a real expert down in our Chelsea market, the store called the Wine Vault, excellent store here, and a real expert named Sarah Marley. Sarah, are you with me down at the store?
I am. Happy Thanksgiving, Elton.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving. A few days early, but that's good. Tell me something right off the bat. Why is it people think this is such a hard meal to pair with wine?
You know, it can be daunting when people try to pair one wine with the entire Thanksgiving spread. Instead, they should really just have fun with the pairing and find a few wines that are going to be very versatile for the whole meal.
Okay, well, I noticed that you've got 3 groups there, and it looks like it's all white rosé, red, white rosé, red. What's the differences here?
Right, so I chose a variety of wines at 3 different price points that we can look at, a white, a rosé, and a red. And so I chose some wines that are under $10 here, a few in the $10 to $15 range, and then the $15 and $20 range.
Well, just because time is kind of short, why don't we dive into that middle range? Because I got a feeling that most Americans, myself included, will be working in that range. So what do you got?
Sure. So the first wine here is a Pinot Grigio from Entwine. Elton, I'm sure you're pretty familiar with Entwine. This is a partnership between Wente Vineyards and the Food Network.
It is indeed.
But, you know, Pinot Grigio here, grown in the sunny California weather, has a more luscious apple and pear note to it in a fuller, richer, lush style. So perfect for your Thanksgiving table.
Okay, and then you've got a rosé there.
I do. So this is not your summer light drinking rosé. This is a darker, more brooding style. And most people don't think of rosé for Thanksgiving. So this is a really great surprise to have with luscious strawberry flavors.
So rosés are usually considered to be kind of sweet, but you used the word brooding. I didn't know there were any brooding rosés. I love that. Will I brood if I drink it, or does it actually do the brooding for me?
Oh no, you know, it's rich and brooding.
And then you've got kind of the one red that I would often choose. You've got a Pinot there.
Yes, so Pinot Noir is really the traditional grape you think for a Thanksgiving pairing. This one, also from California, the Pinot Project, has a nice medium body and luscious cherry fruits to it. So absolutely perfect with your turkey. Will go great with your sides as well.
And it also, believe it or not, Pinot is also good in the gravy if you have some left over. Quick question for you, ma'am.
Sure.
How do you calculate how much you should buy for the number of guests that you have for Thanksgiving?
Well, keep in mind you get about 5 glasses if you're pouring a 5-ounce pour out of each bottle. So I do suggest buying 1 bottle per 2 people per hour.
Okay, got it. Sarah, I've got to go. Save me a couple bottles of that Gewürztraminer over there because, oh, wait a second. Oh, wait,
Sure.
wait, I've got to talk to you later, but I've got a tweet that I got to deal in. Save that Gewürztraminer for me. All right, hold on. I've got a tweet that I want to read here. What is the best type of beer to pair with a Thanksgiving meal? Bobby Flay, you and I have had beer conversations before.
We have.
What? All right.
Juan Bra is the raspberry flavored beer.
What?
Flavored beer.
Beer.
Amber.
PBR.
I like something in the amber just because it's nutty, and I think that nutty flavors go really well for Thanksgiving.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think
I agree.
about that?
And besides, it's not going to be too challenging for mild flavors, but it's going to be sweet enough to reinforce those autumn flavors.
And no matter what you're eating or drinking for Thanksgiving, you want it to have flavor.
Absolutely want to have flavor. Although, does that come in a tall boy? Never mind, doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
All right, come on, we're going to go down to Alex Guarnaschelli. Alex, excuse me. Alex, hi.
Hi.
Guess what? It is time for the viewers to make a very timely decision, okay? And you are actually going to be responsible for some dessert here, and you were prepared to do 2, right?
Yeah, I've got
You're
my
prepared to do 2,
flan.
and what are they?
Well, I've got flan with citrus that
citrus
could be
flan.
like an exciting change from the old pie.
You're putting the words flan and exciting together.
Yeah, definitely. And then on the other side of the ring, we have the raspberry streusel tart with the crumbly topping and golden raisins rolled into the crust.
Raisins are always optional, by the way.
Yeah, totally. But there you have the
Okay.
dry and the fresh fruit, nice and acidic,
So,
tangy.
all right, so
You're
just to get
getting
this straight,
sleepy.
it's the possibilities that for you guys to decide.
Yes.
Do you want Alice Guarnaschelli to make her citrus flan, which apparently is exciting despite what we typically think of flans, or do you want her to make a raspberry crumble tart?
Yum.
And I don't, you might make them vote differently, and I want them to vote. So you're gonna have to reach out and let us know how you want that to go, and you know how to do that. That's the information all going up there on the board. All right, now we've got a lot more coming up as our second hour continues. We've got more, I think, of Ree over in the old digital hub there. Our birds are going to finally emerge from the oven. You got new cocktails apparently, and then cranberry cocktail, and you didn't bother to save one for me there. We'll have the results of the poll. We're gonna have a cocktail throwdown, and then finally we will face gravy. Thanksgiving Live will be right back.
You guys.
Welcome back to Thanksgiving Live. We have been hearing from a lot of you, and we'd like to hear a whole lot more. So if you've got a Thanksgiving question, anything at all, we've got some of the best culinary minds in America here to provide the answers. So keep on, reaching out there. And remember, all of the recipes that you see here today can be found at foodnetwork.com/Thanksgiving. All right, now we are about to do some desserts for the holiday. We've got a cocktail throwdown coming. We're going to carve up some bird. We got buffet, gravy, all coming your way. So if you've got questions in these areas, please get them ready. So let us check out the results from our viewers poll. A kind of crumble action tart with some raspberry kind of crumble action tart with some streusel thing on it. And the winner is the raspberry crumble, of course, because all of America knows that there's no such thing as an exciting flan. You can't pull that one over on anybody. So put the flan aside and show us how to make this fantastic tart.
All right, you know what though, Alton, I want you to consider 2014 or 13, maybe the year of the flan. You never know.
You know, it's the year of the flan is the year I come up with another flan. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're
I'm
right,
sorry.
though.
All right, go ahead.
So here we have a crust that I rolled and pre-baked with some golden raisins rolled into the crust for that dried fruit kind of tang and deeper flavor. And then I just tossed some raspberries in raspberry jam. And so that
that's
gives
just jam out of the jar?
And a little bit of cornstarch, yeah, to kind of hold it all together. But I'm looking for the deeper flavors, because after the big meal, you need those flavors that pop a little bit in dessert because everybody's stuffed. This is not about hunger at this point. This is about with the jam going in there.
You par-bake this.
Yeah, you par-bake this and then just drop the raspberries and then an easy crumble topping with some cinnamon and ginger, some real holiday flavors, a little citrus. Sprinkle that over
brown sugar and flour as well to kind of hold it together?
Yes.
So it's a basic streusel.
It really is. And then you just pop this in the oven and you let it get all caramelly and gorgeous.
All right, fantastic. What temperature?
350.
Fantastic, okay. Sunny.
Hey, Alton.
I can't help but notice you've got
yes.
orbs.
Yes.
Orbs.
Dessert today.
Tell me about your orbs.
These are pear and apple ice cream balls that I'm going to fry that have a flaked corn and pecan coating. You kind of make a little bit of an egg wash, some egg and water, and then you've got your crushed up cereal and pecans in one bowl after you make this huge ball of ice cream, which I sauteed the pears and the apples and some pumpkin pie spice, a little bit of brown sugar, butter, made it nice and tender. And then I folded it into some vanilla ice cream. Got it cold, made a ball, rolled that in the corn.
You got to make it really cold.
Really super cold, yeah.
But you actually roll it and then make it.
I roll it and then I put it in the freezer for a minute. Then I roll it again, put it in the freezer again, then roll it again. Yeah, for about an hour, really, honestly, for about an hour or two. So it's nice and compact and hard. And the key is 375-degree oil. So I'm just going to drop it in.
375. I want to say you don't have to have any kind of special fryer here.
Yeah.
You can do this with just a pot of oil if you use a thermometer, because 375 is really important here.
And it cooks literally in like 1 minute. You just get it in.
Just 1 minute? Obviously, if it's not hot enough, you're going to end up with a fryer full of melted ice cream. And let me tell you, that's a kind of mess you don't want any part of.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No, you don't want that.
Yeah, but Alton, I'm making the flan anyway.
You're going to make the flan anyway?
And the
Are
flan
you defying my authority as host of this show?
The flan could be a backup.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to make sure that flan never sees the light of day. And I can do that because I'm very powerful here with my little computer. So we're actually going to take a Skype, and I need both of you guys on this.
I think flan's
monkeying
exciting.
with your flan.
Thank you.
We're going to take a Skype here, and this is coming in. It's very dessert specific. So come on, who's with us on Skype?
Hi, Alton. My name is Bonnie. Last year for Thanksgiving, for the first time, I tried to make homemade pie crust using the food processor. However, it was a complete disaster, and I had to go buy pie crust. And I don't want to have to do that this year. So do you have any suggestions so I can have an equally buttery and flaky pie crust without using the food processor?
Well, yes. The answer is, of course, yes. And we've got plenty of people here who will tell you this. I have to tell you that I am kind of a fan of using the food processor. The problem was probably too much water because recipes for pie doughs usually call for the maximum amount of water. Use less water, and what I do to keep things from getting gluey is I actually replace about half of that water amount with vodka because it doesn't tend to get as gummy. Do you guys have any quick tips for her about the pie?
You know what I find a lot of recipes? Mix together the dry ingredients in a bowl so you don't have to pulse a lot. And then just drop the butter, pulse a couple times, cold water pulse, done.
Get it over with quick.
Get
it over with quickly. Because if you let it work, it gets bad. What?
I like to rest it in the fridge if I feel like I've overworked it, you know?
And you should always let the dough hydrate in the refrigerator for about 20 to 30 minutes before you try to roll it. Ree, I've read several of your pie recipes. Ree, I know you're still down in the hub. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this question of creating a really, really nice, light, flaky pie dough, but maybe still using the processor. I've used one of your pie recipes. I thought it was really great. Can you give some advice on this?
Yeah, you know, actually, I don't have a lot of success making pie crust in the food processor. I use my trusty pastry cutter, and I also do a mix of shortening and really cold butter. And I cut it into the dry ingredients until my arm hurts, basically. So it's just, there's no differentiation between the flour and the crust. And then I add the egg and the other ingredients. I always freeze it. That's what my friend Sylvia taught me. I flatten it slightly, put it in a plastic bag, and stick it in the freezer. Always turns out great.
So you actually find that it's easier to roll if it's been frozen first?
I do. I freeze it for about 20 minutes in a little bit of a disc, and then it's real easy to roll, and it always is perfect and flaky, and I want some pie now.
Well, we all want pie all the time. Pie, by the way, I think is the new cupcake, but maybe that's just me.
Flan is the new cupcake.
No, flan is dead. There is no flan here. All right. We have got to take a break, but do not go away. Coming up, a Thanksgiving cocktail throwdown, and it won't be long until turkeys emerge from the ovens. And, of course, that means that there is going to be gravy in our future. While we're in the midst of preparing for Thanksgiving, I want to take a moment again to remind you that the effects of Hurricane Sandy still being felt here in the Northeast. We're working with several area food banks to feed people in need with this holiday season to see how you help through Food Bank New York City, City Harvest, and the Community Food Bank in New Jersey. Go to foodnetwork.com/hungry. Food Network Live will be right back. Hi, welcome back, America. We're here in Food Network Kitchens. This is Thanksgiving Live, as in this is happening right now. And the gang is all here. We've all come together. Why? Because it's cocktail time. Although I think that some people have probably already had a couple of cocktails. And we're going to get into one of the biggest questions that we've had here today. This particular one is off of Twitter. It came from Franticu, I believe. And the question is this. Hey, listen up, everybody, because everybody's going to have to answer this. What are the basics I should have on hand for a well-stocked bar during Thanksgiving?
Bourbon.
Bourbon? Well, that's, yeah.
Most important, a lot of ice. More ice than you think you need.
That's really
Ice.
true.
A pound per
That's
person.
the best answer.
A pound per person.
Yeah, that's
A pound of ice per person?
And in our house, my husband is the mixologist. We make a cocktail, and that's everybody's cocktail. And then there's a choice of white, red, and non-alcoholic for dinner. That's it. That's the least expensive.
I like it.
Don't build a whole bar. Just build a cocktail.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
A themed cocktail for Thanksgiving.
Okay. All right, good.
Cranberry
All right,
martini.
so that's a good lead-in, and hopefully that was a good answer for you, America. I agree. Of course, bourbon, naturally. We're going to have kind of a little throwdown. Can I say throwdown, Bobby?
Go right ahead.
Okay, we're going to
You just have to ask for permission, Alton, that's all.
Make sure the check clears.
We're going to have a throwdown here between some cocktails. And America, you're going to get to vote on who brings it home for you. Aaron's going to make a hot punch.
Yeah, we call it ponche, and it's an awesome thing, and I'll tell you about it shortly.
Okay, no, go ahead. Tell me about it now. I was trying to give you the high sign for tell me about it. Tell me
Are
about
you
your
ready
hot
for
punch.
me? Well, it's awesome. It has a bunch of different ingredients that are very near and dear. You know what? For Thanksgiving, it's one of the last holidays that you can go out outside. So if it's cold and brisk outside, I love something to warm me up. So this is my version of a hot toddy, and it has all these wonderful ingredients. We have guava, pineapple.
Well, hold up the guava, because a lot of Americans haven't seen guava.
They haven't seen these fresh, and they're wonderful. We were just commenting. They're like perfume.
You usually see them in jam.
Exactly.
You don't see them off of the tree.
And if you're a little funky out there later on, just rub this on your neck. You'll be good to go.
But a little funky?
Yeah, well, you're always funky, but I mean like the dance call kind of funky.
Oh.
That's not a style.
Exactly. So we have a little bit of cinnamon or canela, sugar cane, cran apples, and these things all cooked down with some water and a little bit of sugar.
That's what smells so great on the
That's what I'm saying.
So what you have here in essence is like this hot punch that's been broken down with all these wonderful fruits and dried spices. And then what you do is you simply serve it in these kind of like mugs. And then what better than you can strain it if you like a little bit more liquid. But what you serve this with would be ideal with either bourbon, like I mentioned, or a great tequila. Now, there's three kinds. You have añejo, aged, reposado, which means rested, and blanco or plata, which is good for margaritas. Reposado is my choice. It's a lighter, has a little bit of oak, but that caramel to it. And this is going to be rested, and that's how we're going to be after this cocktail is resting. So let's do it.
Can't wait to try that. Sonny, you're going to be making something called fruity limoncello spritzer.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, another Italian. Am I saying limoncello correctly, Giada? Am I limoncello?
She would add a few more syllables, but I understand you.
Yeah, it's real easy to make. This kind of took me through Sandy and everything. It's just some.
This is your Sandy survival kit?
This was my Sandy survival kit. Some limoncello down in my shaker with some ice. Then some good whiskey here. It's like 1 part whiskey, 1 part OJ, 2 parts limoncello. A little bit of orange juice in.
Wow.
And
that's not just for breakfast
Oh
anymore.
yeah, it's gonna knock you on your feet. Then some juice from the maraschino cherry jar.
Maraschino cherry juice.
Yeah. Who cares about the simple syrup? We've got it right here with color.
Are you going to shake that up?
I'm gonna shake
Great,
it up,
shake
just
that
to
up.
loosen it up just a little bit.
Okay. Rachel, you're making a ginger snap.
Yeah, this is my husband's creation. It's a ginger snap. You ice down the glasses first, the cocktail glasses. Then you put 1 ounce of lemon juice, 1 ounce of ginger liqueur. We love this stuff, Canton. And then 1.5 ounces of vodka down over ice into your shaker for each cocktail. 1 little drizzle of agave. A little bit of freshly grated ginger. When you're peeling your ginger, using a teaspoon is actually much safer than a paring knife.
Yep.
And pop the rest in the freezer so you don't lose this. You know, great not to let that go away on you in the fridge. A little pinch of cinnamon and clove and nutmeg each. It literally tastes like a ginger snap. It's absolutely delicious. I hope I'm doing my husband proud. He is the official mixologist of our house.
All right, now shake it. Come on,
Give it a
Rachel.
shake. Take the ice out of the glass.
All right, so let's help pass out the glasses here, because I want to get a tasting. Here you go, guys. Pass it down, pass it. Oh, you got to do the seltzer. That's the spritz. The spritz part.
Top off.
Drink responsibly, of course, during the holidays. Unless you're staying at home.
Snap? You want a ginger snap, Tina?
You don't have to
I'm going to make another bundle. I'm going to make a bunch more.
I like the cinnamon stick.
All right, America, so you've got some choices to make here. There's Aron's very warm and delicious-looking hot punch. We've got Sonny's fruity limoncello spritzer. And of course, Rachel Ray made her ginger snap. And you're going to get to vote on which one of these you'd rather have on your table. And coming up, there's some gravy in your future. And we'll be setting up a buffet. And we're also going to talk about carving. Right now, we've got another viewer poll. As I said, you're going to have to vote on one of these cocktails and let us know what you want on the table. Thanksgiving Live, we'll be right back. Hey, save one of those for me. Welcome back to Thanksgiving Live, where the action is heated up considerably around here. Our turkeys are nearing completion. Our Thanksgiving buffets are starting to come together. Graving, carving tips are just ahead. Oh, and when we've had a few cocktails, I might want to say, but you know, you've got to have fun, and we want you to have fun, so keep those questions coming. We like hearing from you. Okay, we're going to get to the results of the cocktail poll that we were talking about way over there. We asked which cocktail you would most like to see on your table at your Thanksgiving. Aron's Hot Punch, Sonny's Fruity Limoncello Spritzer, or Rachel Ray's Ginger Snap. And apparently, you have decided that it is indeed Rachel's Ginger Snap. Congratulations, Rachel, your Ginger Snap won the poll.
Woo! That's my husband, John. Good job, honey. I love you. I'll be home soon.
Behold, You'll want to remember this moment.
Stand away from the turkey.
Stand away from the turkey. Bobby Flay's turkey is out on the platter. It is beautiful. It is delicious. I'm sorry that you can't smell it. I can, and it smells good. And this leads me into a kind of a perfect position, because I've got a question that came in from Twitter during the break, and I think that this operation lends to it very well. Bobby, I'm going to give this directly to you.
Go ahead.
This comes from KT White on Twitter. I may actually try to make my own gravy this year. How do I keep it from getting lumpy?
Oh, good, great question. Well, first of all, we took all of the lemons, the garlic, and the rosemary out from the roasting pan.
Right.
And we have these beautiful drippings here, right, Alton?
Absolutely. That's like gold.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put this back in here, and then we're going to slowly add a little bit of flour. But we're going to add a little bit at a time.
So you don't even separate the fat.
Exactly.
You just go.
Absolutely not.
And you know
Separate fat. There's no separating fat on Thanksgiving. We keep it in there. It's all about the flavor. And we're just going to very slowly whisk in the flour.
The whisking is key.
Exactly right.
This is what is going to prevent lumping. And notice how he's kind of scattering it around. I believe in the French kitchens we call that songe. You don't just dump it in.
Ooh,
you got
songe. Very fancy, Alton. Okay, here's the deal. If it gets a little lumpy, that's okay. All you need to do is go back to your strainer and strain it out, and your lumps will be gone forever.
Lump-free forever. All right.
Exactly.
We're going to take a phone call. We got a phone call for you, Bobby. All right, bring on the phone call. We're ready for it here. He can do that and talk at the same time. Here we go. Here it comes.
Alton.
Hey, you got Alton
Hello,
and Bobby
Alton.
Flay here. Hi.
Hi, I have a question about gravy, and that is cornstarch or flour?
Cornstarch or flour? I think Bobby and I are the same on this.
I don't have cornstarch anywhere near my home.
I will use cornstarch, but never, ever, ever for a gravy.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the right consistency, and it gets real glossy and clear, kind of like the sauce on Kung Pao chicken or
No,
something.
we're not
I
making
don't like
Chinese food, folks.
Nothing wrong
We're
with
making
Chinese
gravy.
food, and
Exactly.
I often would rather have takeout Chinese than a lot of the things my mother-in-law makes.
No,
but
absolutely.
In this case,
It's a different holiday, that's for sure.
Different holiday. All right, so get rid of the cornstarch and go with the flour. Thanks, Bobby. That smells great. Are you going to leave the mushrooms in, or are you going to strain that out?
I'm going to leave them in.
I think you absolutely should. All right, what do we got coming up here? Bobby's working on that gravy. We've got a buffet that's going to be coming together. More drinking happening, obviously. Here, we're going to do another poll, because I really kind of like this poll business, okay? This is for you, again, America, to answer during the break via whatever method you like. Here it is. It's the day after the big event. What's your favorite way to use up those leftovers? Soup, sandwich, casserole, or hash? Let us know. I have not touched a drop of alcohol. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, they tell me to step away from you. I'm stepping away from Giada. Anyway, we need you to answer that question via social media, or give us a call. And Food Network's Thanksgiving Live will be right back. I'm not talking to you. Hi, we are back in the Food Network kitchen. This is Thanksgiving Live, as in happening right this very moment. And we are here to help you have a happy and tasty Thanksgiving. And do not forget, if we haven't answered your question yet, after this program's over, we will be continuing the conversation at foodnetwork.com. So keep that in mind. And right now, Giada and Rhea, I think, are setting up the feast. We're going to be looking at the buffet shortly. I want to mention just one more time that we are trying to help support those folks that have had a very, very tough time following the storm here in the Northeast, Sandy. We're doing so by working with several different groups. You can get in contact with Food Bank for New York, City Harvest, and also Community Food Bank for New Jersey, simply by going to foodnetwork.com/hungry, because nobody should be hungry at this time of the year. We agree on that, right? Okay, so John and Rhea are both working on the buffet. You're tablescaping.
Not really.
We are tablescaping.
You are so tablescaping. I'm a guy, so I'm going to stay clear of this. But give some tips for ways that people, especially when they don't have a whole lot of time, can maximize the table at this time of year.
Well, you know, Rhea and I have sort of similar but different perspectives. I like all white, and I like succulents and things that you can kind of find at the grocery store. Artichokes, citrus.
Buddha ham.
Okay, so this is like a citrus gone crazy, but I just think it's fun to add sort of different dimensions and color.
It scares the kids.
I love that.
It does scare the kids, but you know what? That's kind of fun too.
I agree.
Anyhow, I like to take plates and give elevation to my Thanksgiving table. You can turn them upside down. You can put fabric over them. You can take bowls and turn them upside down.
And you just use kind of like pie stands.
Yeah, I just say use what you have in your kitchen rather than going out and buying something new.
I love that approach. Well, I go rebellious because everything at Thanksgiving is orange and brown and tan and beige, and the food is orange and brown. So I like to do blues and purples and lavenders and different parts of the color wheel.
Going away from traditional colors.
Well, orange on the color wheel is here and purple is here, so I like to kind of go away from the traditional colors because the food is
You like to
traditional
mix and
enough.
match colors too.
I do. I like to mix and match.
Which is
and
fun.
I like to take cake stands and just buy these tiny pumpkins, which are everywhere.
Yeah.
And I even have these little battery-operated lights.
Those are cute.
And they just add a little twinkle, and you can sort of string them around the pumpkins. You can have the kids do this and
so
keep them
cute.
busy.
I can't say
I know
that
you
word.
can't say the
I
word.
can't make my
Just say it.
mouth
Go
say
ahead,
that
go
word.
ahead, good.
I can't.
It's
I can't
okay.
say that
It's
word.
okay.
I can't say
Oh,
that
okay.
word. I'm not going to say that word.
Okay,
Thank
it's
you very
adorable,
much. I
Reed.
cannot wait to kind of dive into the splendor of your table. All right, I can see that our results are in from our last viewers poll. They've been tabulated, and the favorite way of using those leftovers. Keep in mind the options were to make it into a soup, a sandwich, a casserole, or a hash. In America, I'm not too surprised. You voted for sandwich, because that is the right thing to do. Now we're gonna take time for a phone call because I think we're doing okay on time and our switchboard runneth over. So go ahead. We've got a phone call for Rachel Ray. Phone call for Rachel Ray.
I'm ready.
Are you ready to take your call? All right. Phone call. Go for Rachel Ray. She's right here.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey there, I can hear you.
Oh, wow, I can't believe I'm actually talking to you.
Hi, how are
I've been
you?
on hold for a long time.
Hey, Susan, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm really doing well. We've been having some cocktails, lots of fun in the kitchen. It's great.
Susan, you got a question for Rachel here?
Yeah. Yes, I'm wondering. Well, I voted for soup, but I always like to make soup because that's when it just starts to get cold.
Okay, well, the
So I
rest of
wondered
America
for
likes sandwiches. So go ahead.
Yeah, but I like soup.
Okay.
So, and my kids love soup, so I'm wondering for a quick turkey soup recipe.
You can take all of your leftover root vegetables and herbs, saute them up. You can put anything into the day after soup. And I even like to make little crisp pancakes of the leftover mashed potatoes. Fry them up in a pan and put them down at the bottom of the soup, almost like a matzo ball. And you pull from the little fried potato pancake underneath the turkey and vegetable soup on top. And remember, if any of your vegetables become overcooked on Thanksgiving Day, puree them with stock, and you meant to make soup.
Which is what you meant to do in the first place.
Exactly.
I like the way you think, Rachel. All right, we're going to also take a Skype call while we're here. We've got someone else that's going to be speaking to us from Skype. I don't know who it is. Skype, are you there? Oh, hi. There you
Hey
are.
there, from Cleveland.
This is Cleveland, Ohio.
This is Tracy.
Hi, Tracy. What's up?
This is Tracy from Ohio. My entire family is coming over this year, and I wanted to know if you had any tips or tricks in regard to getting everything out hot and fresh at the same time.
Time management. Management is a super big deal, and there are a lot of different ways to deal with this. And I bet everybody's got time management answers here. What I like to do is I actually take all the recipes that I'm going to be cooking for Thanksgiving, and I kind of put them all into one master recipe so that all my
so you
times
have
are laid out.
one ingredient
So I got
list,
like
yep.
one ingredient list, one process list, so that everything comes out at the same time. It takes a little bit more time to prep, but it makes things a lot easier on the day.
And
What do you
figure
think?
out what space you have in your oven and on your stovetop. All of your mashed potato or sweet potato, you can make a bain-marie. You could mash it in a large pot, put it in a smaller one, and make a water bath for it. It can hold perfect at the same temp all day. And then check out how much space you have in the oven and switch up your menu. If you know that you do not have enough oven space to make what you've decided upon, just switch the method around a little bit so that you're covered and look through all your dishes and pots and pans first, right, Sonny?
Yeah, that
You know
and
what?
keeping a list of everything.
This is
Don't
actually
forget
this is
that.
a really good question. I kind of want to poll the troops about this during the break. So give me a little bit of time to do that. You guys keep us sending in your questions. Food Network's Thanksgiving Live is going to be right back. I promise. That's good. Hold that thought. Welcome back to Food Network's Thanksgiving Live. We're now going to find out the reason that I have not been drinking during the show is because now I'm going to attempt to beat my time from last year of 3 minutes on the bird carving. Bobby Flace here is going to be timing me. I'm a little nervous about this, and I think the only way that I'm going to pull this off is to dump my usual carving knife and go for some electric mayhem here. Hey, I got to do what I got to do. We got to get to the end of the show. One of my things is I like to start with the bird upside down because I'm going to take off these pieces of meat and then go for the breast meat. So
you tell me when you're ready, sir.
if you see blood, this is like Iron Chef. We stop for nothing.
Okay, got it.
All right? Ready?
Everyone's watching on this one, Alton.
Let's go.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right, pretty good.
I like to keep a towel underneath it so that I can spin it around.
Oh my God, he's scaring me.
Crack. It's like the last few minutes of Braveheart.
Don't try this at home.
Do not try this at home.
Make it nice.
Oh,
Hey, yo, throw me the garlic. Throw me the garlic.
Look at that, look at that, look at that.
I can't.
It's only been 30 seconds, and he's got half the turkey done. Amazing.
Watch your fingers out.
I'm watching my. Ow! No, I'm good.
Oh my God.
All right.
A true competitor.
Time!
55 seconds. 1 minute.
So, we moving out to the table?
We're gonna.
I got absolutely no. I'm not going to drink. So I want to deal with. I think we've got a call coming in, and it's. Oh, the Skype that was in before about how to get things hot to the table. Is Tracy? Is she still holding on? She won. She hung up. She got tired of us. So does anybody else have a last-minute thing about making sure that everything gets to the table hot and
Hot
ready to
chicken
serve?
stock on the stove. We talked about it before.
That's right.
Slice the turkey like this. Nap a little hot chicken stock over it, and it'll bring it right back to temperature.
Beautiful.
Excellent. Anybody?
Heat the container or the vessel that it's in. If it's another container.
Plates.
Stay hot if you use aluminum foil.
Just keep one of your own. Like if you got 2 ovens, you keep one low all the time.
warm in there.
Good.
In the oven.
Any other advice?
I just want to say this to you. A minute 11. I think we should call the
Amazing.
Guinness Book of World Records and submit this. What do you think?
And look, I've got all my fingers. All right. So, everybody can kind of start grabbing some food here, and I do want to ask a question. Yeah, go for it. We're gonna eat. But I do want to know, what do you guys feel that you really got to be thankful for this year?
Getting through the hurricane in New York.
Yep.
Getting through the hurricane in New York, New Jersey, the
100%.
tri-state area.
Getting through Sandy?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you know, the color of Food Network is the color of hunger awareness. I think that this time of the year, we all have something to be thankful about, and it's a great family project to go out, give time or food to those that are
All
so
those
in need.
things make sense, but I would say that we're all very lucky to do what we love to do.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You never have to go to work if you love what you do.
I'm lucky to have a job.
That is so true.
I am very thankful to have a job.
Yeah.
All right, over here, thankful.
Well, I'm happy that our children, all my kids are safe and sound and went through another year.
Do you know how many?
I'm pretty sure. All my family.
I'm happy just to wake up every day and get another chance to get it right. Another
I
chance.
like it. Bree, what about you?
Family, faith, health, the basics.
The basics. Alex.
I love that.
For me, the essentials, just great restaurants and a great staff. I think we have many kinds of families that take many different forms and shapes.
We do.
Thankful for all that.
Well, hey, dig in.
You thankful for
Clearly,
anything? Yeah, let's
you know what
dig
I'm
in.
thankful for?
What?
I'm thankful to have a healthy family. I'm thankful to have good work that I love to do. And I'm
fun
thankful,
people to hang out with.
and I'm thankful that I have all 10 of my fingers left after that. So I mean, obviously we've
We
got
are
a lot.
too. We're
We've got
We
a
are
lot.
grateful for that.
We are too.
We've got a lot to be thankful for, but you know, the effects of Hurricane Sandy are still being felt in the Northeast. We're working with several area food banks to connect people, you know, that need food to get to that food. You can help Food Bank for New York City, City Harvest, and Food Bank for New Jersey by going to foodnetwork.com/hunger. Okay. One more thing. What do you guys do right after, you know, after Thanksgiving dinner?
Sleep.
We played Boys versus Girls Trivial Pursuit.
Oh,
I like that.
Yeah. We play oranges to apples or apples to oranges. What's that game?
I love that game, apples to apples.
Apples to apples. I'm sorry, apples to apples. We love that game.
Video games over here.
I always put all the food away so I can have another
And
plate
of
of
course,
food in
don't
the
forget
kitchen.
your NFL football, everybody.
Yeah, we watch football and put up the Christmas trees.
Cool. I wash dishes. I guess is pretty much what I do.
Well, you're a lot of fun, Alton.
Yeah, I know.
Let me come over right over to your house.
All right. All right, that's our show. Thanks for your questions, your calls, your tweets, your Skypes. Much appreciated.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We hope that we've made your Thanksgiving day a little tastier and a whole lot easier. All the recipes from today's Thanksgiving Live, of course, will be online, foodnetwork.com/Thanksgiving. And remember, after we sign off here, we will continue to answer your questions at foodnetwork.com. So join us online. Meanwhile, from everyone here at Food Network, Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.